We have Bitcoin trading above $70,000 and the breakout is looking absolutely imminent right now. The bulls are going to be back in full force and taking control as has been outlined for the last couple of weeks to months. Everything playing along exactly as we predicted and to perfection. You can see yesterday's move is largely driven as part of a short squeeze within the market, which we also identified yesterday when we had a look at the liquidation levels and how they were situated slightly above price. And it was a question of what happens next when price moves into that liquidation level in the form of the short squeeze. Can bulls maintain that level? That's really the place that we're at right now within the bull market. Is the question is, are they going to maintain that level? Is there going to be one more flush towards the downside, frustrating the bulls one more time before leading into the big breakout? Well, you can see 178.89 million worth of liquidity taken from the short side. And if you go through to the ratios on the top over here, the 24-hour long to short, you do of course have the majority of the market now suddenly flipping long over there with 52.87% longs and 47.13% shorts over there. The good news is that the total cryptocurrency market is still increasing. That's following the break of the downsloping trend line, and we're looking still for this to move up in the same way that Bitcoin has, right? Bitcoin definitely leading the market in the sense of the levels that we're targeting, which is going to be this range high region over here. We're looking for Bitcoin, or at least for the total cryptocurrency market cap, to get into that level. Whereas if you look to Bitcoin, Bitcoin's already in this zone over here, and as long as we see these high highs and high lows from the total cryptocurrency market cap, this is really good news, because it makes it and new money is coming into the crypto market. So we got a lot that we're going to get into in today's show. Smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because every single day we're updating you based on the prior day's analysis, and it all fits together like various different pieces of the puzzle. So you want to make sure that you're here every single day so we can put the puzzle together and we can make life-changing money leading into the end of the bull run, right? So we spoke about this on the total cryptocurrency market cap, that we want to see bulls really defend that $2 trillion mark, which is at the bottom of the pink box over here. And this should cause or create an order block. And these order blocks tend to lead to the big moves, right? That's both to the up and the downside. But since we believe this is all reaccumulation, waiting for a mock-up phase over here, this would be a bullish order block leading into a massive move up over here. So we're looking for something like this, possibly pushing up into the 2.5 to possibly about $2.7 trillion mark. And then we want to see price action maintain those levels, hold those levels, and then we could have a Wyckoff accumulation breakout play, which is taking place. And we also looked at this yesterday. I said, don't be surprised. It's not over until the fat lady sings, right? We need to wait until the end of the monthly close, and we haven't yet got there. And I said, don't be surprised if you see this turn into a full-bodied candle pushing towards pretty much the exact level that we're at now, and even more bullish if we close like this or above here. That would be indicative that November is going to be the month where you're going to see the major breakout. Now, we do have implied targets based on this massive cup and handle formation that we have over here, and that should take price action up to just below $110,000 over there, so 109,646. And then you'll remember, if you go back to all the prior months analysis, how we spoke about this being the most likely outcome. I told you guys, feel free to screenshot that and repurpose that video if you want to, because we said this is what the expectation would be. And so far, it's following along to perfection, flipping this all-important area now into support, and the probability is sitting at, I would say, about 95% probability that this level has now been flipped into support, and that we're not going to spend any monthly closing candles below this level at $58,000 until probably the next bear market bottom, right? That's the call. That's what I'm looking at. I don't believe you'll see a monthly candle close below $58,000 until the bottom of the next bear market, right? That's what I'm looking at. So upwards and continuation. Yesterday we're looking at the October results as well, and we're sitting at about a 7% gain for the month of October, which is pretty lackluster when you consider that on average you're looking at about 22% gains for the month of October, especially in a post-halving year. And I also said, remember, in alignment with this. It's not over till it's over, right? Wait for the monthly close over here because this could play catch up very, very quickly in the last couple of days. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So bulls are coming in the dying moments to get back to the normality or the averages. Now, the great news about all of this is that November is typically even more bullish than what we see in October, because on average, you got 22% in October and 46.81% in the month of November. And then if we forward look even a little bit further, remember that Ethereum's best returns come in Q1, which basically means you have an up-only environment for about the next 4 months where you should see your altcoins perform phenomenally well. Now, the fear and greed still sitting at about 72. We've been in this region for quite some time. And if you go to Jason's tweet over here, he says, yeah, Bitcoin hit 70K for the first time in 90 days, so 3 months. And the fear and greed index is basically the same as what it was for the last 13 days, right? We've been here for about 2 weeks now. And he says this is either the start of a 2 to 4 month greed or extreme greed marathon, i.e. also known as a major breakout, which is exactly what we've outlined was the most probable case, or there's going to be a flush out coming to reset the sentiment. And he says, pick your side wisely. I mean, I think he's on my side as well, in agreement that it's most likely going to be continuation and a breakout for the next 3 to 4 months, moving into a period of, as he says over here, 2 to 4 months of greed or extreme greed marathon. So please understand that prices can remain within these levels for much longer than you can understand. I can actually bring through this over here. Let's pull this forward over here and quickly have a look at the fear and greed. 1 second, let's pull up the fear and greed index over here. This is to showcase to you how long the fear and greed can remain this high whilst prices rally. So let's go to the prior times that we were sitting between that 70, 80, and 90. And you can see you can stick within that environment for long periods of time, which leads to the parabolic advancements that we've been expecting for quite some time, where price just rips towards the upside. So everything is looking really good. There is now liquidity building up underneath. That's something to pay attention to. So that is your 24-hour period. This is your 12-hour time period. These are now, of course, late longs that are jumping into the market after being liquidated on the short side, and they're trying to chase price up. So something to be aware of, something to be cognizant of given this move up. We'll evaluate the lower time frames in just a moment, but I am monitoring the open interest over here, which is pushing up to very, very high levels, which we haven't seen for a couple of weeks to months. So this is what you need to be cautious of, right? There could be one more flush towards the downside, just taking out these late longs over here. And then again, it's going to be immediately probably brought up and you'll have continuation. Now, we can see that if we look at the YouTube views, well, the YouTube views have been nothing but down only ever since the prior market top. We haven't got anywhere near those previous peaks. Even this one over here, you can see was essentially just a lower high in relation to all the prior peaks that we've had on the YouTube views. The YouTube views is a great metric because it helps us to understand when retail are coming back into the market, and retail are the ones that typically create these periods of extreme greed, right? The 2 to 4 months of greed and extreme greed marathon, as what Jason says over there, that would be the expectation. So we'll monitor this very closely. We're also going to monitor the Phantom wallet downloads as well as the Coinbase app rankings. And this is going to help us to evaluate when it's time to start to get really, really cautious on the long side and even consider taking profits, since we have made a lot along for quite some time. Now, part of the things that can help to drive this retail extreme greed periods, for 2 to 4 months, this extreme greed marathon that can lead to, prices rallying up like we've previously seen over here in the 70 to 80 region with the fear and greed pumping like that, is things like this, right? News articles like this, information like this. You can have a listen to this video over here where essentially Russia's sovereign wealth fund is now investing in Bitcoin mining throughout the BRICS countries with the goal of setting a global trade in Bitcoin. This is absolutely massive, massive news. And while we play the video, guys, smash the like button.
Yeah, it's a non-US asset. It's an emerging markets asset. And while we were all hyperventilating about the election over the last week, BRICS had a conference in Russia. There's 6 new members of BRICS this year. So BRICS GDP is now greater than the combined GDP of G7. Of the 6 new members, 3 of them, Argentina, the UAE, and Ethiopia, are now mining Bitcoin with government resources. So there is tremendous urgency outside of the US to find a way to circumvent the irresponsible fiscal policy that we've been running here in the U.S. In fact, Russia announced an initiative. Their sovereign wealth fund is going to invest in a regional initiative to build Bitcoin mining and AI infrastructure throughout BRICS with an idea of settling global trade in Bitcoin. So look, someday, I don't know if it's 5 years, 10 years, Putin's going to die. We're going to look to reintegrate some of these countries into the world financial system, and they're going to be trading with Bitcoin. What are we going to be doing?
So that's essentially the situation over here. You have nations are essentially in this space race, right? Trying to get Bitcoin as quick as possible. And remember, these guys can print as much money as they want and pretty much free money, right? They can print free money and use that to buy up hard assets like property, Bitcoin, gold. And we've seen them do that in the past with things like property and gold. But now they're actually going to be doing that with Bitcoin. And this could be a major, major catalyst, at least to bring the retail in for the final phase of the cycle, right? So a lot to look at over there. You have gold, which is broken out of its massive cup and handle formation. The S&P 500 breaking out of a massive cup and handle formation. Gold actually almost reaching its final target. And then you have the same picture over here on both Bitcoin as well as Ethereum. So Bitcoin on the left-hand side over here, cup and handle formation over there with a bullish price target up to, nearly that $110,000 mark. And then you have Ethereum on the right-hand side with a price target from its cup and handle, taking it up to about $5,129. And this is all off of very low volatility. You can see Bitcoin's volatility already expanding based on this line increasing towards the upside, and Ethereum's volatility still recontracting as a laggard, which is typical within these cycles. We spoke about the impending altcoin season in yesterday's show. We spoke about how money tends to flow from Bitcoin into the large caps, and this Bitcoin dominance reign always goes on every cycle, much longer than people can believe. And ultimately, they lose a lot of money in terms of Satoshi value. And then the alts finally run, right? At which point they don't believe the rally anymore. And they think that it is just a sucker's rally. And then prices really do start to move up. So we've essentially hit the levels a couple of times over here, coming into the 1.618 extension on the ETH BTC chart on the left-hand side, and taking a fractal from the prior October rally that we had within the 2020 run for Ethereum. You can see this would be the expectation. Ethereum should start to mark up very quickly from this point in time. And currently, I do have a long position on Ethereum, a small leverage long position over here, up 40% on that trade. So we'll see how things go. That's currently my bias. For those of you that do want to participate, by the way, if you do go through into the link in the description below, we're running an amazing initiative. For some people, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you can win yourself one full Bitcoin, right? An entire Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes to $100,000 by the 1st of January and you guess correctly what the price will be by the 1st of January, well, you essentially win $100,000, which is one full Bitcoin, right? So what you need to do is you need to use these links below. If you do want to participate, sign up to these links. Each of these links will entitle you to one guess per week, right? One guess per week. And your job over here is then to go to Banter Bubbles. You'll go to win a Bitcoin. And you can see over here, people are busy putting in their guesses right now. Someone just predicted $110,000. That was 1 hour ago. That was Keith over there. You're guessing what is the price of Bitcoin specifically on Coinbase by the 1st of January 2025. The closest guess wins, right? You win yourself half a Bitcoin if you take 10 trades or more on those exchanges that are listed below over here. You'll receive the other half a Bitcoin, right? And you can guess off of each of these exchanges every week. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 guesses per week, basically, until the end of the year. So basically, the sooner you enter, the better, because the more guesses you can put in and the better you can scatter it for a more optimal chance of winning. So nice initiative for those of you out there. Let's continue. Let's have a look over here at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. Not only do we have the massive cup and handle formation, which is currently in play, but we also have the enormous bull flag, right? You can see over here, there's your pole, and then you move into the flag formation over here, and you're currently breaking out of that flag right now with 3 candle confirmations, right? That is a criteria that I look at when I want to confirm if a breakout is real or not. Firstly, this is a very significant breakout because you have 3 candle closes outside of the flag, which is one important thing. But what's more important is you've also got multiple candle closes above the strong horizontal, more specifically, those same 3, right? 1, 2, 3 candle closes above that. And this is starting to look like a very, very real breakout where we should see prices go higher. Now, again, this has a similar target in terms of the bull flag as what we would see with the cup and handle formation. And you'd be looking at around that $110,000 mark. So Bitcoin to $100,000 can happen much quicker than you think. That would be a 30% increase from here. And remember, the biggest gains within the crypto market occur in a very, very short amount of time. So it's something to look at over there. Our bias has been bullish for a very, very long time, even when price was losing this 21 exponential moving average, which is our very simple criteria to understand when to be long and strong within the market. If price is above it, which is where we went long initially all the way down here, then we long and strong all the way up. And then when price starts to lose it and angles towards the downside, it becomes a little bit of a sketchy scenario. But in this instance, we were unwavered in our bullish bias simply based on the timing factors and where we were in relation to the halving cycle, as well as where we were in relation to the election phase. And therefore, we said that, we won't add more money until we start to reclaim, but we're going to continue to maintain all the long positions that we establish at the bottom of that trading range. And so far, looking really, really good, right? We have support from the moving averages. The 3, the 9, and the 30 moving average are all in a full-on long bullish posturing with price breaching the range high over there. And again, Gaussian channel also supporting that, looking really, really strong. And this was what kept us in our long trades, was the expectation that following a certain number of days post-halving, exactly 160 days post-halving, is typically where we saw the prior cycles lead price action towards the upside quicker and quicker. Or you could view it from 680 to 685 days from the cycle bottom. Prior cycles did exactly the same thing around that 680-day mark into the crypto cycle. From bottom to day 680, we started to see prices mark up. And now we had additional confluence with, of course, the election phase coming up, which we know are bullish catalysts for the market. But comparing all of that together, we also had additional support with the failed breakdown over here based on high volume, which was your Wyckoff accumulation schematic. Bears were unable to get price to leave the bottom of the trading range over here, and immediately it broke back into the trading range. And now we've simply just been waiting for the Wyckoff accumulation schematic to transition from phase C into phase D, which then leads into phase E, which is your full-on markup phase. So we said we're somewhere between phase C and phase D, which if we go through over here, looks like this, right? We're now moving into phase D. This is the sign of strength. We've been mentioning this for over probably 2 months now, a strong bullish move that breaks through high volume resistance, indicating the markup start, right? So we can go over here and we can put in the volume profile, and have we broken above the high volume resistance? 100% yes, we have. We've broken above the high volume resistance. This is it over here. This is all your big volume candles. We've broken above that. We're clearing above this region and defending it as support over there. And that confirms that we're moving into what's called the SOS phase, right? The SOS stands for the sign of strength. And it would look like this when you zoom in on a chart. This is going to be your range high, right? You got your automatic rally, sign of strength, breaks down over here, goes back up. Final supply that's coming into this region over here. Sign of strength, breaks and holds above the resistance level, and off price goes. So there it is. This is essentially where your SOS occurs into this region over here. We've taken out the previous week's high as well as the previous quarterly high. These are very, very good signs, right? Very bullish signs, looking for continuation. And we spoke about the failure for bears to get price into the yellow box over here, which was your previous month's high. It did wick into there, but every day it closed back above. And that was a sign of strength, right? So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and continuation into higher highs. Now, your next big question is, what happens next, right? Is there going to be, one more little trap scenario where you see something like this, slams down, shakes people out one more time, then reaccumulates and off it goes? Or is it going to be a scenario where pretty much we just see the bulls take immediate control and you pretty much push through maybe a short back test over there and then rally up? I don't know. I don't care. My positions are set. My bags are packed. And so are all of yours. Any of you that have been here for the last couple of months to even years, well, you should be in the exact same position as me. It doesn't really matter to us. However, I understand that there's always new people coming into the market, and I am here to help you, right? I am here to help you. What would I do in this situation? I would personally set a dollar cost average bot, and I'd probably, instead of panic buying into the market, I would look to just allocate bit by bit by bit, getting a gradual exposure as price moves towards the upside. Or unfortunately, you would have to look towards the laggards, which I'll bring up a couple of charts in just a moment's time. Things like Ethereum, which could continue to underperform, but the fact is that we're expecting Bitcoin dominance to top soon and ETH BTC to bottom soon. So that's probably going to be your best bet, right? Now, Bitcoin over here is still looking strong. Price above the yellow line over here, which is 69,760. That simply means the RSI on the daily is trending towards the upside. It's long and strong. We spoke about the monthly RSI in yesterday's show and how at prior points leading into the election phase, as well as following the halving cycle, that RSI on the monthly was at the exact same place, literally within a couple of percentage points of where it was in all the other prior cycles. And that usually initiated the second phase of the bull market, which is that blow off top phase where things go absolutely crazy. Now, if you do want to learn more about this, because I know I've given a lot of information over here, any of you that are new here, if you want to learn more, even if you in Whale Room specifically, which is the private Discord, and you haven't yet done Whale School, which is completely free, I really recommend jump into this cohort as soon as you possibly can, because you have 1 day and 5 hours left. We do begin tomorrow with this is cohort number 9, right? So we've done 9 of these various different workshops for school, all the course materials online. But when you come to the live workshops, that's where you get a more up-to-date, relevant analysis, because the course was recorded a while ago, right? So we're taking those principles and showing you in live real time how you can analyze price and how you can use it to your advantage in that exact point in time as per what the market is doing, right? So sign up while you can. Whale School, 100% free, thankfully, due to the sponsors listed below over here. They subsidize the course for you. So please do make sure you jump in. Now, some important things, right? We've been keeping all eyes on this with a little detective face over here, watching for the potential breakdown of the USDT dominance. This is the Tether dominance. This is vitally important because if Tether dominance breaks down, it's going to bring a sea of money into the crypto markets, into the actual coins, right? And that's where you should see things rally. Now, people always underestimate the size of the stablecoin market and how it's got bigger and bigger. In actual fact, if you have a look at this, this is the stablecoin market cap over time, taken from, January, if we just click on that over there, January 2018, then 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and it just keeps growing bigger and bigger, right? Now, specifically looking at that, you can see it's growing at about 100x the rate of what it was 5 years ago. This is enormous gains. This is what you call the network effect, right? The network effect is what makes us succeed in crypto, because once you reach a certain threshold or breaking point, escape velocity, if you will, within this network effect, it almost becomes unstoppable. It's like a snowball, right? That rolls down a hill, gathers more and more snow, and then that snowball becomes unstoppable. And the people underestimate, right? They underestimate how important the stablecoin market is when it comes to crypto, because this is what can truly on-ramp real users, right? Because it's the ability to move value that's stable across chain without any limitation from third-party intermediaries, government organizations, any of that. You're able to move value to anyone, anywhere in the world at any point in time, straight from your fingertips. Now, that's what will bring mass adoption, actually. It's not going to be the meme coins. It's not going to be, the next best layer 1 technology, but it's the ability for stablecoins to do very well. This is one reason why we're super bullish on Solana, because Solana makes it really easy when it comes to utilizing these stablecoins, right? And if you look at this over here, just looking at the Bitcoin market capitalization, or the USDT market capitalization just this year alone went from 65 billion to 120 billion. Now, again, I want to re-emphasize, why is this important? It's important because if we look at this chart over here, this refers to the USDT dominance, which means the breakdown of the dominance chart. When you see an outflow of USDT with growth like that, dropping by 30%, you can imagine what that will do to some of these coins' market caps, right? This becomes a lot of money, possibly even, $1 trillion that could be coming into the market from stable coins into actual risk on cryptocurrency coins, which is ultimately where we make our money on that volatility, right? So there it is. On top of that, you have the same picture with the Bitcoin dominance rising over here, pushing back again, towards that target that we have at 59.84%. It could blast through. It could go to as high as 62%. It is something you need to be aware of. But as it currently stands, you are in a rising wedge formation, which we've been looking at for a very long time. Rising wedge formations typically break down like that. They are bearish patterns, right? But remember what we spoke about for months and months and months now. We said despite the rising wedge formation over here, there is a sequence of order that you have to look at things at. There's a priority list, right? The priority list goes like this. Trend is first. The trend is your friend till the end of the trend. So that's the most important thing you look at. Next, you need to look at strong horizontals. Now we're pushing into a horizontal resistance. Therefore, you can start to look to potentially fade it. And then only third and finally, will you look towards the chart pattern, right? Which is a bearish chart pattern over there. So a lot to look forward to. The breakdown of the USDT dominance, the breakdown of the Bitcoin dominance. This tends to bring a lot of money into the crypto sector, specifically into the altcoin market. But when it comes to the altcoin sector, you have to be incredibly selective. And we spoke about this actually in Whale Room. I have made a post over there. I'm sure the Whale Room community won't mind if I share, this tidbit of information, because I think it's valuable for everybody and we don't want any of you to lose money. And I wrote this as per yesterday's Zoom session. If you're new and you're coming into the market right now, this is my highest recommendation to you when trying to make your picks, right? This is what I want you guys to do. I want you first to look at the altcoin BTC pair. Ensure that pair is in an uptrend, or at the very, very least, it's at a strong level of horizontal support, right? If it meets that criteria, now you can move on to step 2. Step 2 is where you're going to take those strong altcoin BTC pairs. So let's say, right, you looked at a bunch of different options. This is what you're looking for, right? You're looking for, let's say, the alt BTC pair. One good example that we utilized was, of course, Mantra, right? Mantra BTC, OM BTC, because it's been in an absolute face melting uptrend, right? So if it looks like that, if the chart looks like that, Mantra BTC, Solana BTC, Cardano BTC, XRP BTC, whatever your coin is, whatever your pick is, the last two look like this. So probably don't touch those. But if you're looking at Solana BTC, at Mantra BTC, and the chart looks like this, then you can move on to point number 2, right? Alternatively, if it's not in a straight uptrend, but it's got nice horizontals over there, and maybe the price is coming back towards a key horizontal over here, then that kind of fits the criteria, right? Then we can go on to point number 2, which is this. Here's point number 2. Take that strong alt BTC pair and then chart that coin's alt USD pair. Now you actually look at the Solana USD pair, and if it is also in an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows, then you can look to buy the next high low. It's as simple as that, right? Or if it has a strong horizontal support, and the answer is yes, it's at strong horizontal support, watch the reaction on the low time frames into that key level, and then you can also consider buying that position slowly at support. This will ensure that you're choosing the right coins, that you're in strong coins for the rest of the cycle, and you're not picking things that are losing against BTC because you're taking on more risk than you need to, right? Otherwise, you may as well just buy Bitcoin itself, buy and hold Bitcoin, and that's it, right? That's all you need to do. Low risk strategy, small gains, but low risk, as opposed to trying to pick what sounds cool, right? Like Cardano, XRP, which is not going to go anywhere, right? So that's something to look at over there. Let's continue. So there's your Mantra chart. Let's actually go to Mantra USD. Since the Mantra BTC chart is coming into key support, in an uptrend over there, this is how you would do it, right? And I've dropped a bunch of coins in Whale Room there that are still in decent zone. So any of you that are in Whale Room, please go and have a look at those. That was just above that post. So we identified this was the key area, right? As Mantra or OMBTC came into key support, we simultaneously had the USD pair coming into key support at the 0.5 level. And this would be the zone essentially where you're looking for the higher low to form, right? The USD pair is in an uptrend. The Alt BTC pair is also in an uptrend. So you're looking to buy the dip, right? Now, I said it is possible that this does roll over in the USD pair and maybe you come down one more time. That's something you need to be aware of. But from a macro perspective, as long as the BTC pair is at its key level, then you're still looking at a macro high low. It's just a question of where does that occur? Does that occur over here, around this $1.10 region? Or is this it? Was that the entry? At the end of the day, that's up to you to monitor on an hourly basis to determine the exact criteria. We're looking at the daily chart over here, and that's how you do it. That's how you succeed in the run. Remember that concentration in a hand-picked selection of amazing coins will make you succeed much more than a spray and pray approach, where you literally just like the shotgun approach, you just spray and pray, right? Like you're just shooting anywhere into the air, hoping that you're going to hit something, right? Rather be a little bit selective over there. So that is the Mantra chart. That's what we're looking at. For those of you who are new, remember in Whale Room, if you do want to learn more, there is a whole beginner's guide over here with videos. We also have blog posts which are teaching you on the daily. Any of you, if you want those blog posts as well, you can actually access them from the newsletter section, which is listed below over here. There we go. The Whale Crypto Trades newsletter over there will give you access to all of that. Reminder that for those of you that have been thinking about joining Whale Room, you have 2 days left to join at the current pricing. It's going to go up by 60%. And you'll never get it cheaper, right? This is the best time. If you do join, you'll be locked in at that price so long as you don't leave the group, right? You'll be locked in at that price. All right, let's get into some requests. Drop your chart requests. I see Cardano or Fartcoin. Yeah, exactly. Cardano or Fartcoin. Well, we can look at Cardano. Let's actually have a look at Cardano. I remember it wasn't in a bad spot against the USD pair, but against the BTC pair, it's honestly just been annihilated. So there it is. Falling wedge formation. It is holding up at horizontal support, but it comes with an opportunity cost because when you measure this against the BTC pair, it hasn't looked that great. There's the BTC pair. It's literally a straight downtrend. Now, this is the exact opposite of what you want to see, guys. I can even put on a weekly time frame just to give you some better perspective. It's basically at the new lows, right? The lowest level that it's possibly been in. The last time I was at these levels was in 2020. So this is what I'm talking about, right? If you bought Cardano, basically, anywhere over here around October 2021, around this point in time over here, you have probably maybe gone sideways on your USD value. But in terms of Bitcoin, you've dropped 87%, right? Which means if you put in, for example, 1 Bitcoin, you took the value of 1 Bitcoin and you put that into Cardano over here, well, you would have 0.1 Bitcoin left. That's it. You've lost 0.9 Bitcoins worth of value on this drop off over here. And that's why it's important, right? You need to make sure that you're actually looking at these pairs over here. So let's actually quickly see how is... And, also with that being said, I just want to let you know, sometimes you guys will see me drop other trades. Sometimes I'm taking short-term trades. That's a different story, right? This is where you need to determine for yourself, are you in it for the long term for an investment, or are you in it for a short-term trade? If you're in it for a short-term trade, this is all that you need to focus on, is the ratio between how much you're risking and how much you could potentially gain. And you're looking for a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio, right? So that's, you're getting paid on USD, right? It doesn't matter what the coin is or what the long-term outlook is against Bitcoin. That's irrelevant. But if you're holding for the long term, for the whole cycle, I would consider that being an investor. You want to make sure that that chart is in an uptrend, right? So let's quickly see over here. Where do we have the Sol BTC chart? Let's quickly pull up Solana BTC. And that's what the chart looks like, right? So far, the chart's still looking good, similar to the rest of the market. Big bull flag, right? Price pushing up over here, creating an ascending triangle, higher lows throughout. We still haven't breached through the top side of resistance. We've luckily reclaimed the mid-range level over here, but now you're going to wait to get through this top side resistance, similar to what Bitcoin's battling with on the USD pair, looking for the breakout. If Bitcoin breaks out over here, you'll probably see Solana BTC will probably do something like this, and then you're looking for continuation. That means by holding Solana, you're probably earning more Bitcoin as well as USD on the way up, because it's going up faster than what Bitcoin is, right? Okay, cool. We've done that. We've covered that. Now I'm going to give you, I've dropped a couple of the trades into the group over here in the Whale Room Discord. I'm not going to give away all the trades because these are paying members, right? So it's unfair to them, but I will give you one that's in the zone, guys. Let's go to Aptos. I think Aptos is in a pretty decent zone over here, looking for the SR flip. We already took this trade a long time ago. This was based on the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and on the right shoulder was the buying opportunity. You got the breakout. It took you above the resistance zone, which is coming in over here, and you can currently see looking to flip that level right now. So looking to enter into this Aptos trade, anywhere around this region over here is fair game. Hard stop goes below the wick low that occurred on Friday, the 25th of October. And then I'd be targeting all the way up here to about $13.60, right? That's the target level. That's where you're looking for price to run to. This provides you with about a 43% move without even touching any leverage, right? So that's something to look at over there. Keep an eye out on that. Scale in slowly. What I typically do is I do the analysis on the daily and the weekly time frame. But when I'm actually looking to enter into these trades, I'll look down as low as the hourly or even the 4 hour. You just want to simply monitor, watch for a break of structure, watch to clear some of the levels, and then you can tighten up your invalidation into that zone. So we'll see what happens later today. Quickly looking at the stock market. Let's quickly pull this over here. Looking at the stock market over here, yesterday we had still another strong day, another day with an all-time high closing basis, the highest closing prices that we've seen on the stock market. This is a monthly candle over here. We'll keep an eye out on this, right? So this is still trend continuation, high highs, high lows, and we are expecting to push into that final phase, remember, of the 18.6-year cycle, as well as with those election phases, right? So this week will bring some volatility. The bear case would be that Kamala wins somehow. And if that does happen, well, this is what you'd look for on the S&P 500. Is probably a sweep down into this region at about $4,300. But I do believe, that will just be a macro high low and you'll have continuation. So remember, there can be a lot of, games that occur with this stuff. That would be a 25% drop in the S&P 500, which would be pretty brutal, right? 25% drop on the S&P 500 probably equates to about a 50% drop across most crypto. So be aware of something like that, just in case. This is going to be your super, super strong monthly level. I think it's incredibly unlikely that something like that happens, but you always have to prepare for the worst. Definitely always prepare for the worst over there. All right, what else have we got, guys? Autism. I see a lot of requests for this autism. We can have a look at that. Also, Fog doing very, very well. This is one of my blue chip meme coin picks. Straight high highs and high lows. Looking really, really good over there. Okay, autism. Let's jump into autism. Here we go. Okay, $9.1 million market cap. Let's see. Okay, it came back towards the range breakout level. So this is your support zone. I think we brought this up yesterday already. I said, watch how it holds the 0.0. So 0.0059. That's the level. You want to watch how it defends that region over there. Okay, we can go to PopCat. Let's just jump back onto the daily time frame. I looked at PopCat this morning. I think it was doing really well. There it is. Okay, new all-time highs once again. So really, really great position over here. I mean, we were entering into this all the way at the bottom over here. I think I'm up over a 5x already, around a 4 or 5x return on PopCat. I'm continuing to hold. I haven't yet taken profits. I'm looking more to build massive swing positions that I can hold for the rest of the cycle. Okay, what else, guys? Drop the request. Say, yeah, we can have a look at Say. Say was presenting an opportunity for long at some point, but I don't know if that's gone now. Let's see. Okay, no, it's still holding up. So it's come perfectly into the zone. That probably warrants a trade opportunity over there. You've backtested into this region. Stops go below the current wicks that you have over here. Your full confirmation that the trade's actually taking place is if you can reclaim that, right? get back above this line over here, the white one at about 47. So let's just put that back over there. That is, let's click it again, 0.4078. If you get back above that, stops are below here. You can start to raise those into profit, and you're targeting up to about 58.9, right? Let's go to Brett. How's Brett doing? All right, up 4% today. Okay, holding and respecting the bottom of that parallel channel. You want to reclaim the pink zone over here. This is really the level to hold. We need to see multiple candles above this region. You know, a lot of the altcoins are in kind of like dire situations. I wouldn't say Brett's in a dire situation, but a lot of them are in dire situations where, you know, if it starts to turn over and create another lower high, all these lows are going to be taken out, and then you could potentially go back all the way to the bottom of the range. So that's something to look at over there. We do need to see strength now from the rest of the market. We need to see follow through and continuation from this point in time. Okay, 𝗲𝗏. 𝗲𝗏 is still consolidating down here. Probably an opportunity for anyone that's late to the market, breaking the long-term downtrend, coming into strong horizontal support over there. Probably going to look like a macro high-low, and I think continuation from this point in time, right? So yeah, keep an eye on that. Rune, let's go to Rune. Okay, Rune USDT. I saw Rune had a very decent move this morning. There it is. Okay, Rune, beautiful, beautiful. Nice move over there. Looking really, really good. That's what we said, right? We've been long on this for quite some time, so just continue to hold. Axelar also starting to put in a bit of a move over here, pushing towards the range highs and looking for continuation and follow through. Probably going to trade alongside Rune, right? So that's what we're looking at. That's it from me today, folks. I'm going to cut over there. I'll see the rest of you in Whale Room later. Make sure you sign up to Whale School if you're not already. And remember, for Whale Room, the private Discord, the pricing will be going up in exactly 2 days. Take advantage while you can. I'll see all of you on the next one. I hope you have an absolutely lovely, lovely day. And cheers for now, guys.